KKHT wants you to meet the classiest guys in real estate.
This is Tim O'Neill, the icon of insurance.
I'm Chris Kelso, the Meister of Mortgage.
And I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate. And together we are
The Real Estate Rat Pack. Much like us, real estate in the greater Houston area is hot.
So whether you're buying, selling, owning, or insuring real estate in the greater Houston area,
you need to check us out as we are the preeminent source for everything you need to know.
And now, they're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now 1-800-808-5548. The Real Estate Rat Pack.
Good morning, Houston.
And surrounding areas.
Everybody.
all the ships at sea.
So I want to take
All
a
the ones that can
moment.
hear us.
You know, it's not a shopping holiday, believe it or not.
It's not?
It's Memorial Day weekend, and a lot of people. And this actually started back in Lincoln's day.
That is true.
So this has been going on a long time. Then they finally had officially in the 20th century finally picked a day for it. So I want to shout out to all the families who lost loved ones in wars, and honor my father. That were veterans and things like that. So it's an important day. It's not just a good day to get a mattress.
Yeah, even though you could go get a mattress if you wanted to.
I promise you, everyone's doing a Memorial Day sale.
But no, you're right. Absolutely, a very, very, very big shout out to all those, and in remembrance of all those who lost somebody, and more importantly, all those who served this country, past, present, and future. Big shout out to everybody there as well. It's never too late to say that.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, every once in a while we have to get our edges kind of smoothed over, because we have been known to be
Mine are always really rough, though, Rob.
Yeah, I know. Our bad boy at Christian radio. But we have Cristy Stratton back to us, who's going to talk to us about etiquette, business etiquette once again. Now, that's not her only, claim to fame, because she's also a public speaker and coach, and she's a multi-talented
And a longhorn. Oh, by the way.
Hook 'em hard. Well,
I didn't wear a belt this morning, and my underwear showing. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, Chris always comes in dressed appropriately.
Nice
Chris.
segue there, Pally.
Yes, thank you. Very good. Chris comes in with a lot of offerings for me, so that I can give some.
You couldn't hear Justin Timberlake in my ear, though. He had me dancing.
Well, you were dancing. Part
dancing.
of business etiquette, believe it or not, is bringing in good energy into a room too. So you got one check mark.
One check mark right there.
Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah. Don't be afraid. I'm not. Hey, you've heard me say it before. Hey, etiquette is not about perfection. It's about progress and preparedness.
How's our boy progressing?
Well, he took a little step back today from the first time we started this, so we might have to have a little tete-a-tete.
Now, I am working out a lot, so what's
going
to happen today when I come with my shirt off just to show off?
Well, I've sent you a challenge to join me at Soul Cycle, my new favorite thing. So I'll see you there.
I will see you there, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, and anyone else is welcome to try Soul Cycle.
What are we going to talk about today, Christy?
Well, I have a little something that I thought we would talk about is etiquette in either a classroom or a particular environment here in the radio booth, but that goes completely out the window, right?
Pretty much. We are the Rat Pack.
But whatever environment you're in, showing respect to others, real estate agents are in a lot of classes, and these things you can't see them. We're on radio, but it's
sure we can. We're streaming live on Facebook.
Yes, you can actually do these things, which is
thing.
Right here.
Dave Dickinson is our cameraman today.
Look at that.
Alamo
Hello,
title.
Dave. Thank you. Great. Now I have to get up earlier and get ready for more.
Always look beautiful.
You look gorgeous all the time.
That was the thing with radio. Hide behind the camera, right?
That's right.
So I call this, this can be either a dumb phone or a smartphone, right? And so we're doing a lot of the phone in these classes, not paying attention. Now, there's, a little bit, sometimes we may want to be taking notes on our phone, right? And so you have to be careful with that, because the mentality is if I'm on my phone, I'm not paying attention. But also, giving respect to the person who's either leading the class or the meeting or that sort of thing, holding down side chatter. And oh my gosh, we talked about this last time, is just being kind. A
lot of unkindness going on around there.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Tell me about that.
Basically, if she's interviewing me now.
I know, I am. I can't help it.
Well, I think it stems from, these reality shows, and especially like the Apprentice, where people are just rude. So it's become kind of commonplace to just be rude. People are not respectful. And if they disagree with you, they're, blithering idiots. And in fact, they're probably not blithering idiots, and they probably have a reason to believe what they believe. Just go, I always recommend people go into curiosity and out of judgment.
Oh, we just went to one of my favorite places. So one of
Which is the studio.
Yeah, yes. But you can't see it because I just went off in Vision Land. No, one of the best books, and if you have not read this, it's a classic, but I find that in my classes, a lot of folks have not read this. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and my gosh. And Norman Vincent Peale, 1948, something like
actually,
that.
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie.
Yeah,
right.
Dale Carnegie.
What am I thinking about?
Sorry to correct you, but
Power Positive Thinking.
Power
Yeah,
Positive Thinking. That's a great one, too. In this particular book, I mean, it's basic stuff, but people do business with whom they like and trust, right?
Yep.
And so he encourages you to step out of judgment and into curiosity. And it's something that you have to train yourself on. I mean, I'm far from great at it or even good at it. But, what I've kind of done is put this question in my mind, move to ask the question, get curious. And I really think that your eye contact comes along that when you get curious about someone else, you actually want to step into their world and out of our own world. And that's where a lot of that disrespect work comes from.
And that's where I learn stuff. I get curious because sometimes people are so out there and something that different. I go, why do you feel that way? And and they'll have a reason.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Or sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know. I just do.
I just do because I heard it from somewhere else. And
they've got it's 8-second sound bite somewhere, so they made a decision based on that judgment.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when people have these philosophies that they are clinging to or perpetuating or something. Why is it that is? And a lot of times there'll be life events that occur to them, and you'll learn a lot.
You'll learn a lot about them. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people are scared of stepping into the question because they're afraid there's going to be either conflict, and I don't care for conflict, but we have to. And actually, the more stepping in and learning about other people, that we forge relationships and we understand people, and we're kind to people because of that.
Well, one of the things that we talk about all the time, and this goes in business, for example, I think it can actually be translated into the personal side of things. Some of the great innovations in any industry have come from outside the industry. Right, so a lot of times what you're doing is if you're in an industry, whatever manufacturing industry, for example, you're in, a lot of times the great changes that happen is because you brought somebody in from technology or et cetera, et cetera. Especially technology has happened because they've seen things outside of that realm. Same thing in the human interaction side of things. A lot of times if you step out of your realm of what you know and you listen to somebody else who might be in a completely different industry, might be in a completely different world, might see things completely different, it's going to give you a new insight to things moving forward. And so it's important to always have that ability to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to listen to this. I might not understand it, but I'm at least going to try.
You know who's the best of that is Brad Inman News, who's now internationally known. And I've had dinner with Brad, and he's great friends with Bob Hale, of our CEO for HAR. And he would bring in these most unusual people. He brought in somebody who actually was operating a winery. And this is for a real estate event,
that doesn't
by the
fit
way.
Together at all.
Oh, well, yeah, with real estate. But here's what this person did. He was talking about basically things going viral. And this is back probably about 2007, I think. Yeah, with my chair year.
Right.
And what he did, this person sent out to everyone at Microsoft the ability to download a logo that says change or die. And Microsoft people just loved it. Oh. But at the bottom, it had www, whatever the name of his winery was.
Right.
And exponentially, his sales just went through the roof. But they brought him in because it's getting realtors who don't necessarily embrace technology to think outside the box.
Right.
Well,
and it went viral. It's
interesting. I just happened to post from a workout place that I follow. I posted this: get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And oftentimes we stay away from that. Change is uncomfortable, and questioning is uncomfortable, right? Stepping into that.
Uncomfortable experience with a student recently in your class, and we meant to, as this discussion gets further and further afield, I thought we'd bring it back to that. So, and you had someone who was definitely out of his element, unfocused.
Well, and I'll say not to necessarily call that student out. We all do. Hey, I've been there, and I'm sure I can, irritate an instructor because I ask a lot of questions, right? But, if you're going to, I guess this is the thing, the student happened to be late to every segment, and we're in an etiquette class. Business etiquette, being on time is important. We've talked about that many times.
Which other people have paid for.
Rob gave us the example of what that needed to look like a couple weeks ago.
For a specific reason, and now we have someone,
Yeah, but if you're going to call people out and kind of preach at them, that sort of thing, then walk the walk, walk the talk rather. So, show by your actions, I guess, that you are following the rules of etiquette, which is where the golden rule meets chivalry. Do your best to be on time. It's not about perfection, like I said, but show that respect, and then don't preach what you're to do if you're not doing it, right?
So that's what you guys were doing when Rob arrived really late a couple weeks ago to the show, and
Pot,
you didn't arrive on time.
kettle.
You were actually supporting me
I
in my
was,
endeavors.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Figured it out.
Y'all were walking the walk.
Yes. And of course, Chris's
First,
story.
you have to wake the wake.
So
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
thing, I've said this before, so we have in etiquette, you would think that it has to be perfect all the time. It's not. We get a 15% slide, right? It's
Right.
85% is what we really need to keep our professionalism in 85% of everything we do. Now that doesn't give the okay to go crazy out there, but I mean, we're going to make a mistake, right? It's not about perfection. We're going to spill the coffee on our shirt and look like a mess. We're
Now-
going to knock over the iced tea at the table, things
so
like
other
that.
than being late, what else did that student do that made them rude to you?
Well, just really, it was excessive comments, but really kind of getting on the preaching pulpit, if you will, in some sense, from whatever his belief was. And there were, 12 other students in there, and it was just his belief, and he was so emphatic about it. I could feel the energy shift. And so while we encourage questions and comments, it's just being careful. There's an environment. There's a thing called a schema in psychology, and we kind of know, when we walk into the radio booth. I mean the studio here, right? There's a way we kind of all have learned we should act, right? You guys haven't figured it out yet.
Don't think we ever will.
But we're working on it.
Yeah. But, you walk into a classroom, there's an instructor typically, there's learning, there's quiet time, and then there's time for, questions and answers and things like that. And you need to be on time, especially if it's a business etiquette class, And so he was kind of going against the grain on all of that, speaking out of turn, kind of he got in one person's face at one point, so puts on edge. So, you might have that loud personality type of thing, but kind of realizing the environment you're in and the appropriate way you're supposed to show up, right? There's something different than being at a crawfish boil and on air here,
Not for us.
I know. I was going to say, it's not a good example.
We'll bring the crawfish boil
And in a
here.
classroom, but Rob, you teach, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably deal with this too.
I actually have fun with it, and I'll if I get two people talking, I'll say, don't make me separate you two. It's
Yeah.
if they're
Well,
parents
this
talking.
particular person, it was a long story, but
But sometimes, a TRLP, which is the Texas Real Estate Leadership Program, that through the Texas Association of Realtors, and there's a class just formed here, and I think, Chris, you actually went and met all
I
the-
met all of them, absolutely, for their
great-
breakfast.
But they have an accountability piece. If they're late, they have to sing.
oh, see, that's fun. That's fun.
Well,
That's
not
fine.
if you don't like singing.
Well,
Just
true.
that
That
I
could be
can't
very
turn a note-
stressful.
I'd
I
be
can't
late
turn-
every day on purpose.
The main
Okay,
thing.
not a good example.
I know we're wrapping it
I'd be
up
like,
here.
teacher, can I sing?
But see,
No.
that's kind of fun, and then you're like, oh gosh, no. But doing it also with respect. You can have fun, but respect kind of those who are in charge at the same
Right.
time, and respect the fellow people. We started out talking about the phone. Even respect your fellow colleagues in meetings and conference rooms, whatever environment you're in, by putting this guy away, putting it on silence, so that it's not a distraction, not little side chatter, and really just speaking out of turn, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it all comes down to respect for yourself and respect for someone else. And so the more that we can build respect within ourselves, it will shine through.
As we say, that is a moment with Cristy Stratton.
Oh, look at that.
How can I reach you if you don't mind?
You can reach me at my cell phone. It's 281-658-2335. Or you can go to my Facebook page. It's Viavis Inc. VIAVISINC.
V as in Victor.
V as in Victor, yes. Life Vision, Viability, Visibility. We help individuals and companies discover possibilities, seize success, and live vibrantly.
That is the great Cristy Stratton. Thank you very much
Yes.
for being on board this
Yes,
morning.
it is.
For all those tuned
Thank
in, we have to
you.
take a break, pay for the show, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys.
I can feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it.